and the herd is Tiffany, where we talk about travel, lifestyle, and mental health. Follow me on Sweet Tiffies at Instagram, Twitter at Sweet Tiffies, Facebook at Sweet Tiffies Inspiration, and the website www.tiffany-travels.com. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Hey, we are here with Dr. Fossey. We are at the Moscone Center. This is the vaccination site where I work at. And so we just like to shout out Dr. Fossey for his intelligence dealing with the COVID vaccine. So here we are. Welcome to the Moscone Center. Kirby, you're getting your second shot. How do you feel?
I'm so excited.
Are you nervous?
A little bit.
I heard the second shot is like...
So, if you guys probably didn't sleep or lazy this weekend, then you know why.
All right. Kirby, you scared?
Try to relax your arm as best as you can. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Didn't feel a thing.
Grab bag is super quick though. Like 2 seconds. Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we have something a little bit different. We are actually going to be talking about social work. So happy Social Work Month to all of my fellow social workers out there. I have a guest with us today. Tell us who you are.
Hi, I'm Kirby, and I'm a social worker as well.
And where are you from, Kirby?
I am from Montgomery, Alabama, but I stay in Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay. So today we are going to be talking about traveling social work. I usually talk about everything travel, and I rarely ever talk about my background in social work. So today, this is what this video is all about. So if you've never heard of a traveling social worker, then you're gonna find out during this video. Okay. But first of all, we want to say, have you guys watched Friday before? Okay. Do you guys remember the scene where is it Craig?
Day.
Oh, Day. Do you remember the scene where Day got fired on his day off? Well,
Is that Day?
I thought it was Craig. I thought Craig got fired on his day off.
I think it was Craig.
I think it was Craig too. I don't think it was Day. So Craig got fired on his day off. Well, I'm here to tell y'all that you're looking at Craig's.
We got fired on our day off. Never been fired on my day off.
Exactly. We was chilling at home and we literally got fired, okay? And so y'all probably like, how did I get fired? Let us know. So we're about to do a little story time of how it all went down. So stay tuned. Okay, so Kirby, let's go to the very, very beginning of how this all happened, how we met each other, and how we became roommates. So you want to start us off?
Sure. So I had never really heard of a traveling social work until right before I graduated with my master's in May of 2020.
Woo woo, congratulations.
Thank you. So some kind of way I started following this traveling social work case manager group on Facebook. And I had been seeing all of these positions open or whatever, but I was deep down, I was interested, but was kind of scared. Didn't want to leave my full-time job or whatever. And so I just decided to take a leap of faith and ran across a position on the group for a Vaccinator assistant, as you can see, in San Francisco, California. So the recruiter posted the job on the website, on the Facebook group.
And pause, check out this Facebook group. There's a Facebook group for anything and everything that you need. So if you are looking to see if your field does traveling, check Facebook. This group is literally called Traveling Social Workers or Traveling Case Manager Social Workers. I'll be sure to put the link in the description. So Facebook is my go-to. I absolutely love it. And that's how we got hired. Literally, we ain't going Indeed. We ain't put in no job application. We ain't do none of that. We literally found this job in a Facebook group.
X. So, a recruiter posted the position. I reached out to him via email, discussed the position. He sent me information about the pay and whatnot. It was a good pay or whatever. So, I just kind of Went forward with it. Next thing you know, he was like, I need you to go take your drug test. We need to do a background check. And that's when everything started selling in, like, I'm really about to do this. So my fear was losing my my full-time job. I'm a case manager with Blue Cross Blue Shield. So I didn't know what to do about my job. So my plan was to take a leave of absence and make this quick money on this travel assignment for 13 weeks. Went forward with the whole thing. Got hired on, and my recruiter, Omar.
Shout out to Omar.
Is the best recruiter.
He is one of the best recruiters.
Best recruiter.
And we're shouting him out because everybody's not a good recruiter, okay? When we say Omar is a good recruiter, when I say that he has communicated with us every step of the way, before we got here, while we've been here, even when we got fired. Well, let me stop saying fired, y'all. We got laid off, okay? Let me put it like that, because it sounds really bad. I don't want nobody to see this and be like, oh my God, they get fired, you know? But that's just the attention getter to make y'all watch this video. But the recruiter is very, very important. So when you're doing travel assignments, you can't look on like the Indeeds and stuff like that. You have to go through your recruiter in order to get the travel assignments. And there's thousands of travel recruiters. Just if you find one, make sure that it's a good one, because everybody is not the same.
And I will say, like, just by him being so thorough and communicating with me, like, any question that I had, it doesn't matter what time of day it was, he always responded, was always there, and that kind of gave me some ease to go forward with this travel assignment.
Right, and I feel like we talk like we're friends. I'm like, hey, how was your day? How was your vacation? Then we get down to business. And then just rolling back a little bit, this thing happened very fast. So when you talk about travel assignments, you don't get a lot of time to do stuff. They don't give you 3 months notice, 2 months notice. It could be like 2 weeks. It could be like the next day. They're like, you need to get to your assignment. So basically this happened, I say within a span of 2 weeks. It was supposed to start, I think 1 week, but then it started the next week. And there's so many changes. We had to do different assignments. We had to read stuff. They kept sending us stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so much. We're trying to pack. They don't care. You have to really multitask. I always say you can't really multitask, but in this thing you have to, because you're doing your paperwork, you're trying to pack, you're trying to wrap up your home life. Back at home, Kirby had a job, so she's trying to figure out that. So there's just so many moving parts to it that you have to be prepared for that. But that comes with the territory of traveling social work. So Kirby, let me know. You said you were super, super afraid to leave. Kirby, let us know. Did you cry before you left?
You guys, I cried every day. Because I just kept questioning myself, are you making the right decision? Like, what is your job going to do? Like, you finna go to this foreign city, like, or state, all the way on the other side of the world. Like, what if you get COVID? Like, what if you get sick? Your family is not there. Like, everything possible ran through my head. What are you gonna do with your dog? What are you gonna do with your mom? Like,
oh yeah, that's the other thing. If you have pets, you're literally uprooting your life. So you're trying to figure out, should I take this dog? Should I not? What should I do? So there are so many things that are running through your mind. Since this is Kirby's first travel assignment, technically it's my first travel assignment too, where I had to move away. I've had other travel assignments. I'm from LA, and so the other travel assignments have been in LA. I had one in Louisiana, which I guess I never talked about that. So we'll stay on topic. We'll address that later. But I would say this is the first official one for both of us. The difference is Kirby lives in another state. I live in California. So by plane, it's only an hour away. So those thoughts didn't automatically run through my head, because I knew I can always get home very easily on the plane, or I can even drive home. And I also have family that kind of lives in the area, or I have an aunt that lives not too far from here. So yeah, I can understand where Kirby is coming from.
I was scared. I cried up until the day I caught that plane.
Like, you cried at the airport. I didn't cry at the airport.
I cried at the airport. My mom cried when I went to visit her before I left. Like, she cried, I cried.
Everybody was crying.
Everybody was crying. The dog cried.
So we do all that. We finally get to San Francisco, and so I met Kirby because I told the recruiter, "Hey, who else are you recruiting? Can you please put us in a WhatsApp group?" I love WhatsApp. Shout out to WhatsApp. Whoever created WhatsApp is so awesome. So we were in this group together, and let me tell y'all how Kirby did me. Kirby and our other roommate, okay? So I was like, hey y'all, I was like, let's all share a room together. If y'all don't know, San Francisco is super expensive. I thought LA was super expensive. Nah. And we'll get more into like breakdown of costs and stuff. And so I said, hey, yes, I want to stay in a room, blah, 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 right? So I said like 2 days before I came here, I'm like, hey, y'all, where y'all staying at? Y'all getting a hotel or what? And they're like, oh, we already found a place. And I was like, I was like, y'all found a place and y'all didn't even tell me about it? So, Kirby, tell me what happened. What's your excuse? Why didn't you guys include me?
Okay. So we were sending messages in the WhatsApp, and I had ran across the place, and I asked them, like, hey, ladies, how does this look? The price? What do y'all think about this? Or whatever. Like, no response from neither one of them. Her nor the other roommate. So the other roommate reached out and was like, hey, like, Tiffany never responded, but I like the house or whatever. Like, do you want to move forward or whatever? I was like, well, like, let's just call her. So I'll call her. I called Tiffany. Her phone rung a couple of times, and then she didn't answer.
I never got the call, by the way, y'all.
So I never got a call back, and we waited around. And so other roommate she's like she ready.
She ready to book stuff like that.
She don't point. She don't play. She ready. She about her business. So she was like, well, let's just book this 2-bedroom. And that's what we did.
So they booked the 2-bedroom, and guess what happened?
It was a scam.
Look at there you go. And what you told me, Kirby? What'd you say? You told me God don't like ugly.
God, yeah, I did say that.
And I told my dad about the story, and he said the same thing. He was like, God don't like ugly.
For real, like, I really felt bad when Tiffany told me that she didn't get the text messages, the phone call and stuff like that or whatever. Like, I really did feel bad or whatever. And so, because I was like, well, do you think, like, we should just let her stay with us?
On the couch.
Until we can get a 3-bedroom and stuff like that or whatever. But needless to say, we had to end up going to her and like, look, we got scammed. Like, do you want to be roommates again?
Right. And I was like,
don't do I was like, you've been I
was like, do I really want to be roommates with them? I don't know how this is going to work out.
But she's happy.
And by the way, we were in a hotel for almost a week or so?
Yes.
So let's talk about that hotel living for a second before we get to how we are in the same place.
Let's talk about this money.
Okay,
for housing.
I stayed at the Intercontinental San Francisco. I guess it's like $100 something a night. And then this is why you have to talk to everybody at work when you're doing a travel assignment, because we all get different information. So I think I was paying like $130 something a night. Then somebody else gave me a discount code and dropped it down to like $100, and I shared it with them. But I don't like hotel living because the microwave was downstairs. I didn't have access to the microwave until I got the discount portion. That was on a different floor. You have to always order out. Like, it's very hard to live in a hotel constantly. And some people decide to stay in the hotel for the whole time that they're doing their travel assignment. I prefer to get a house. And again, we'll talk about that in just a bit. But how did you like living in the hotel, Kirby?
I didn't. I mean, for a couple of days, it's okay, but just long term, no.
Yeah, I would say into that, but
only thing, it was right down the street from our job.
Yes,
like,
it was literally
no
2
Ubers.
minutes.
Like, we didn't have to pay for Ubers or anything like that. So that was like the only good thing about the hotel.
Yes, I would say we like literally. I don't always get up on time, so. So I feel like when I could like low key roll out of bed and Herbie get there in 2 minutes, like that was just, I guess that made up for the hotel life that I didn't really like. And then let's talk about just ordering stuff, y'all. San Francisco is super expensive. I can't say this enough.
Expensive.
We're ordering Uber Eats.
$30.
Exactly. Like, that's the minimum.
$20 for some Chipotle.
Exactly. Oh, let's talk about that 25%. That 25-cent bag.
Let's talk about them charging
exactly.
us for bags everywhere we go.
So I'm used to bags, but I ain't used to Chipotle charging me. Like, I feel like that's just
being
crazy.
Charged for bags.
In Alabama, they don't charge. California, they do. And it's like, I went at Cold Stones, y'all. I talk about my Cold Stone store all the time because I haven't had it in a month. But Cold Stones, I guess, is in a different city. The Cold Stones, what, $8, I guess? But after all the taxes and fees, it comes out to $20. They got a San Francisco fee, a small order fee, a this fee, and that. I said, I'm so tired of Uber Eats. I can't wait to get back to my car to go get my own food, which is what I do at home.
I have never used Uber Eats or DoorDash until I got to San Francisco.
Exactly. So now we're experts at it, but we would rather probably cook or something just to save money. So yes. Okay, so let us go back. So after we finally got our room, we ended up in a 3-bedroom apartment. And the city is called Soma. That's where we're at. But guess how much we're paying for this 3-bedroom for the month?
$5,000.
A little bit over, wasn't it? I think it was like $5,100 or something for a 3-bedroom. The nice thing about the apartment is, I will give you guys a tour. I'll insert it at this moment, probably right here. The good thing is that it has 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, y'all. Like, that's the best part. I think the bathroom is like, I think it makes up for the price. Because, of course, we can share bathrooms, but, you know, we're women, so we kind of need, like, our own space, right?
And we were all on different work schedules, or we did work together. So just imagine 3 of us trying to get ready in 1 or 2 bathrooms every day for work.
Exactly.
And this one right here, she's the last one to get ready.
This I can't deny. They have learned in the month that they've known me. We learn little things about each other, and so I guess that's one of the things that they learned.
I have to tell you about that. It's like back
home. Okay, so and then the other good thing that we have is we have laundry. We can wash our clothes. Like, that's super important. Instead of like packing up your clothes, going to the wash house, all that kind of stuff, like, it's super convenient to have our washing machine downstairs. We have a full kitchen. We have a living room, very small, but I think I spend the most time in the living room. They don't really care about the living room. But I hate to be stuck downstairs, so this is where I'm at. But anyway, so overall, I think we're pleased with the place. I'm glad we got this because we were supposed to get another place that we accidentally booked this place.
This was an accident,
and we were mad about it. But I think now we're happy about it. So yeah, so
it was everything's in here was brand new. Like, she literally had to get this place ready for us. So I did like that, super clean. So I love that everything is brand new in here.
Exactly. So we feel like we were new tenants. So that's super, super cool. Okay, so let's move on, Kirby. Let's talk about the job itself. What exactly were we doing? What were we hired for? We were hired as Vaccinator assistants.
Thinking that it was the job was on the social work case manager site. So you would think that it kind of involves social work, just a tad bit or whatever. But even after our recruiter sent us the job description and the details, it was more like administrative type stuff, verifying allergies, demographic information, helping prep the vaccines and whatnot. So in my head, I'm like, oh yeah, I can do this for the money. Yeah, hell yeah, I can do it. You know, the stipends, all of that. We got the meal per diem, and we got a housing per diem.
Okay, yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. I forgot to mention that. So before we got hired on, you want to know what your pay is, right? And so before we got hired on, I usually don't tell my pay, but whatever, we'll tell it today. So it was $30 an hour, and then overtime was $45 an hour. We got overtime every single day.
So we worked
4 hours of
4 12-hour shifts.
Yeah.
So we worked a total of 48 hours a week.
Yes.
So
and she mentioned the per diem. So on top of our pay, we got a per diem. So our food stipend was $50 a day, which honestly, San Francisco is so expensive that if you literally try to eat 3 meals a day, yeah, that doesn't cover your $50. But whatever, we'll take the $50. But the best part was the housing stipend. Now the housing stipend was $3,000. And that stipend was huge because San Francisco is so expensive. So it has to be that much in order for you to survive. So you figure out your money, how you're going to figure out your money. Some of us have to pay rent back at home, and we pay rent here. And our other roommate doesn't. And then if you don't have to pay rent at home, then you just like racking up your money.
And then the other thing about it is the stipends, the per diems, they aren't taxed.
Oh yeah,
so
that's
you're only
point.
taxed with your hourly rates.
Yes, that's an excellent point. So you see why people want to do things like that, because the money involved. Okay, back to our vaccinator assistant. So we were working at, I don't even know if we should say it or not, whatever. We were working in San Francisco at a center. So basically it just opened when we arrived. They were giving out the vaccine shots. I think it was only open to the older population at this point, although they did have walk-ins, I think, at nighttime for other people. I did see like police officers
and healthcare, like first responders type,
yes.
so healthcare workers and all of that, police, firemen, and whatnot.
All that kind of stuff.
Essential workers.
Exactly. So the job was not challenging. When you talk about brain power, absolutely not challenging at all. I think the more challenging part was because we were working 12-hour shifts, was literally standing on our feet all day.
My feet were dead.
Mine was throbbing. I would get home, like you're elevating your feet and they're still just throbbing in the bed.
Every bone. I didn't even know if all these different bones can hurt in my feet, but they hurt.
Right, and even they say get good shoes. I don't think there was a good shoe good enough. I had on Skechers that were, I don't know, had some cushion in them. But I just feel like after 12 hours, like there is not a good shoe that you can buy that would make it even better.
At all.
Anyway, so that's what we did every day. They did provide lunches for us. It would be like salads, sandwiches. I feel like it's like cafeteria food. But probably colder. I don't know. For some reason, that food was always cold. It was so random.
I guess because they didn't have a kitchen, because it was at a convention center, so I don't think they had a kitchen. So they had these people come in and prep sandwiches, and they did provide breakfast, like muffins, granola bars, fruit, yogurt, water. We didn't have any sodas, like no juice or nothing. They did provide coffee, but that was it.
So I feel like it was like a
healthy.
Yeah, I feel like it was healthy for us.
I don't care for the food.
It got the job done, right? Because that meant when we talk about that per diem, that meant all we really needed to buy was dinner at nighttime again, which was expensive. So then I guess it would have fit into that $50 range. But if we weren't working, then we obviously didn't get lunch or dinner. So again, job was super easy. I enjoyed talking to the patients that were coming in. They were older. They were funny. They were hilarious. They would be dancing down the hallways because they're excited to get their vaccines. I remember.
Thankful.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember working on Valentine's. The couples came in. I talked to couples that have been married 40, 50 years, and I absolutely love it in today's time when people are not staying together. And a lot of them, I'm like, what are you doing today for Valentine's? They're like, oh, this is our date to get our shot. And I was like, oh, how cute. So yes, that was this last Sunday that we worked. So then we were off for a week because they started talking about like a shortage of vaccines, different things like that.
We did get paid that week.
We did get paid. So yes, that was the week that we got paid. So I think we were home. It was like a Friday, I think.
Friday, Craig.
It was a Friday. There you go. It was a Friday. And so basically I heard a little birdie about something going down. What was going down. Recruiter didn't even know what was going down. But we ultimately got the call that we were definitely being laid off. That was a Friday. And guess when we were being laid off, y'all? That Saturday. Like we literally had.
Your last day is tomorrow.
We had no time to make any decisions. I had just paid rent that day. So it was kind of like, well, what do we do? And so they're like, oh, well, we'll, you get your last check and we'll offer you a severance package. But remember, when they're offering severance package, it gets taxed higher. So the money they said we were going to get, we definitely didn't even get all of that, which
I didn't
sucks.
know that until I got that check and I was pissed.
I didn't know that either. Thankful for money, but it's kind of like we got fired and we didn't get all the expected money that we thought we was going to have. So that's something different. But anyway, so what we decided to do, we decided to just stay down here. So I think we've been down here for 2 weeks. We didn't want to.
Keep in mind, we had paid for housing.
Yeah.
Up until March the 11th.
Mm-hmm.
That over $5,000 we had paid for.
Yeah, so we thought we should stay here since we paid that amount of money. And so we've been here. Kirby has been still working.
Oh, yeah. So with my full-time job back at home, it's a remote position right now. So when I decided to do this assignment, initially I took off. I just took PTO for 2 weeks until I decided what I was going to do. But I was going to do FMLA, and my supervisor told me that I can do like a intermittent FMLA because I was going to work part-time. in between on my off days from the vaccination clinic or whatever. And so when I got laid off, I just picked back up and I've been working full time every day.
The great thing about remote positions, you can work from anywhere. So that was the advantage that Kirby had. I'm not working right now. I've been working on other projects. As you guys know, I'm a travel influencer, content creator, so I've been working on that. So that's been a blessing. I've been able to kind of get those things done that I needed to get done in regards to that. So we are actually leaving. We have 2 more days. So we are leaving San Francisco. But since when we weren't working, we tried to get out. It's still COVID, so there's still not a lot of stuff open. But I've been meeting up with my Instagram friends, just going out to eat. We did a boat cruise. It was a reggae boat cruise. So they have those in Oakland if you want to do that. They're like 3 hours for like $40. They have food for sale on the boat. And it's like just music and people just like having a good time. So we went twice. I went out to some of the local parks. I did a graffiti tour, which I'll do a video about that. And then I'll probably do some more walking tours before I get out of here. So Kirby, as we're wrapping up this video, let me know, what are your takeaways from this whole assignment? Would you do it again? Was it a good experience? Was it a bad experience? And what did you like learn from it? So what are your final thoughts about this travel assignment?
Despite this being my first assignment and my contract getting canceled, that just comes with the territory. Never did I think that I would get my first contract would get canceled, but I always knew that that was a possibility. I've heard about it with nursing and other travel occupations or whatnot. So I'm not gonna let that deter me. Like I've gotten comfortable, like with the whole travel world. Like I'm excited about it. Like I want to go for it again. So I'm definitely not gonna let that stop me. But just know that that's always a possibility, and that's with any travel assignment, nurses as well. I've met some great people. My friend Tiffany. And my other roommate, Jariba. And you do get to meet other people and, like network with others and stuff like that. And, just because everybody's not the same and stuff like that or whatever. So I really am enjoying it.
Right. And we laugh at each other because they say that I'm proper. I say that they're country. So it's funny just to see where people are from. Exactly. Cultures. See and people, we all live differently, but somehow we're intertwining our lives together. You may not get along with everybody. We're going to talk about those stories. But there are some people that you absolutely do get along with. I feel like this is something etched in our memory that we won't forget. We've had a month to be together, and we survived our month together. We did. We're supposed to have 2 more months to go, but we're hoping.
Would have been tired of each other,
right? Exactly. But we're hoping for other opportunities. I will say with traveling social work, me or Kirby only have our MSW. Most travel assignments are looking for your license, although there are a couple jobs, like I said, we didn't need our license for this job. They do want you to have a lot of hospital experience. Do like a per diem hospital or something like that, because those are things that they're looking for. When you don't have your license, you can say, oh, okay, I have that experience. Me and Kirby are working on both of them. So we were blessed to be able to even get this assignment to come out here and see what the traveling life is like. This is something I've always wanted to do. I've heard about international social work when I was in undergrad, and so I've always wanted to do international stuff, but I said, well, until I get to that point, let me go ahead and do the domestic stuff. And when it comes to easy, fast money, I feel like this is that's what I think that's why people do these assignments.
That's why I did it.
Because if you're working your 9-to-5 job, maybe you're only getting paid $20, $25, $30. And the myth that social workers can't make money is absolutely untrue. I feel like if you have your license, if you do your private practice, if you do therapy, you can absolutely make 6 figures. So we're on the road trying to make those 6 figures, y'all.
And explore your options. Don't just settle with one company. Get with multiple companies, even though when I've had to reach out to other companies and recruiters, I felt like I was cheating on my recruiter. But you got to do what you got to do and assess the pay and whatnot. Don't let them get over on you, because they will try, and don't settle for anything.
Right. And do your research. Ask, like I said, ask around, ask what other people agencies they work with, who their recruiters are, what the assignment is about. And sometimes when you get that first assignment, like it's easier to keep getting several assignments after that. So like you said, this will not be our last rodeo, right? We're gonna try
again soon.
Hopefully. Hopefully you'll be like, we're back. Guess what happened? So we're hoping that there'll be other opportunities from this. And again, I'm glad I stayed home and didn't go home right away, because that's what you want to do. You feel like, okay, they let you go, like, okay, I'm gonna rush home. But I'm glad we just decided to stay and stick it out. And then we'll just see where we go from here.
I told